Well, you better get into this game, though. Enough about posters and prize that these guys already have. They're coming here for money.
Yeah, losers finals running right underway. AeroLink against Light. And it's tough for Light here. He just suffered that loss to Denti, and he's going to need to shake off the negative momentum that he previously had in order to keep up with AeroLink in this game.
Yeah, AeroLink, another player I lost to, but that aside is a very good player. We know he's experienced this matchup before and is very well renowned. He is, in case you weren't aware, he is 5th here in the Dallas-Fort Worth and 7th in the state, I believe.
Yeah, definitely a very strong player. Like Denti, a very old-school player. I think he's part of that old DFW Triforce of sorts.
But it looks like Lantern is actually finding little ways to inch in that damage, but keep the pressure going. It looks like AeroLink is, how do I say, picking the wrong option. Every time he teched, he followed him up with the side B. Every time he... Well, I say that, but he's actually getting comboed pretty hard.
That's the thing about Bayonetta, man. A moment's notice, and things change so drastically. Now, you had a chance actually to play against AeroLink firsthand. Tell me about what makes him, in your eyes, a pretty strong player.
Well, unlike most Bayonettas, he limits his side B very much, and then he also uses those bullet arts for that extra damage when he's off stage. An example, Lilat, I just found out that that was one of Bayo's best stages for bullet arts.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I made that mistake. Live and learn, as a friend told me. But AeroLink, he has the mix-ups, he has the reads, he knows when you're going to roll, he knows when you're going to dodge, and then, of course, he has these combos, the classic Bayo combos. And I think the biggest part that sets him aside from most is that Bayo's weakness, if I could call anything about it, is the more he uses those combos in the air, the longer time he has in landing lag. So, when he's comboing or he uses both of his up specials, he likes to side B to get away and confirm that he can recover in time and then respond to your approach. And that is something that it's really hard to position. He uses these platforms really well. We'll even see him edge cancel some of his moves. Looks like Corrin, though, getting those poke games on the edge of that forward smash.
Talk about hard to position, that F smash at the end. Ooh, just well placed.
Very well placed. Did he call it an air dodge out with that?
I'll have to go back and review the tape for sure. It's one of those things where when you're recovering against Corrin, you just have to be so mindful of how much they can cover while also committing very little at the same time.
And I feel like Light Lantern, he showed up and he's gotten so far because of his edge guard game. Have you seen the amount of insane pressure? As soon as he gets him off edge, he's back airing, and he'll even surprise you with the side B off edge before he even tries to recover. You think he's done, but he's not.
Game 2. And this is, of course, a best-of-5 series. We saw Light actually have a pretty good break against Denti, but was just unable to close things out as the set went on. So you have to talk about things like the stress, right? The duration. Light here has to make sure that he's ready and equipped to play the long game from a mental standpoint, or AeroLink will run him over.
And I agree with that. It looks like, though, they are just going blow to blow. Bayonetta combos, though. This might be a... Oh, no, he ran out.
Not quite enough gas, maybe, to finish the combo the way that he would have liked. Oh, Light.
That was a bold move. Could have been very well punished, but even so, that was a very high reward coming his way.
Yeah, that bite has so much knockback. It's terrifying, honestly, to deal with.
It looks like... Ooh, no, he knows... Do you see that clever... Okay, that nair was very good.
Smart. And then just taking the time to make sure that he could make it back while also setting up simultaneously for the finishing blow back air. Very well executed by AeroLink. And now he's up a stock, but Light, at the same time, with the moveset that he has plenty of options in actually closing out this stock. It's just a matter of making sure that he finds the right positioning, the right moment in order to send AeroLink down and even up the odds. But this is what AeroLink does so well, playing the incremental game bit by bit and then utilizing the explosive punish potential that Bayonetta has to rack up the damage so quickly.
Oh, we're about to see the... Oh.
Tough.
That's 1-1.
And that's just AeroLink with the area that he was covering in general, where he was just kind of floating around. Light felt that it was unsafe for him to do the traditional recovery, and so he tried to do a strong mix-up by using the Dragon Ascension a little early,
It looked like he kind of instilled some fear in him when he put that witch time underneath the stage when he was recovering. Well, of course, that will put some serious fear into you, especially with that extra back air for emphasis.
That's that rock in a hard place moment where you'll see a great player do this, where they just make it so that it feels like whatever option you do is unsafe, right? You don't feel comfortable really doing anything. And Light recognizing that feels like it's time for a switch. We're going to be seeing him actually pulling out the ZSS now.
What I'm seeing him already do right off the bat is I see 3 or 4 up smashes come out from ZSS. His opening move, he jump cancel up smash right into the stage. Right in the middle of the stage, I guess assuming for a jump. Looks like this is a very bold play style. And from what it looks like, he's going to go for serious combo heavy according to his stage choice.
Yeah, and I think with this particular stage, I think it augments ZSS's toolkit very well. There's a case for maybe going somewhere like Dreamland, but AeroLink is so good at sharking around the platforms and just dancing around, not really having to commit to anything, that this stage, for me, makes the most sense.
Well, what I'm wondering is this a good matchup in comparison with the Corrin? Because the Corrin, of course, though, he was poking him over the little things, if you notice. It was just a small positioning or the little habits that you often don't see, but it seemed that he was looking for them. Here, though, he doesn't have the same toolkit. He's got great movement, of course, and this is ZSS we're talking about here. But it looks like Bayonetta here, with the matchup experience, he just knows where you're going to be or where you have to be.
Yeah, and that's very, very evident just with the damage that's coming out. The leg drop as well. Perfect execution again on the witch time. And now AeroLink on set point.
That was nasty. How clever that was. It caught him through the stage. And then also the factor that that's a thought process. I would never think, personally, to down air with Bayonetta, sending yourself downwards. Of course, he recovered, but sending himself downwards in the middle of offstage witch time.
That's just what you have to do, and I think that that's something that AeroLink demonstrates so well, is supreme control over his character as a whole.
I think that and just his mindset. I mean, you see him, he moves unlike many Bayonettas. I have yet to see a Bayonetta quite move like him. I mean, after all, he just empty hopped over a Corrin from start.
Dancing around again. AeroLink trying to send this one home and completely close things out. And he's doing a great job thus far. The combo sequences, they may not be perfect, but he's getting the damage. Light felt the pressure, tried to mix things up with the ZSS pick. It's good to see him back on this Corrin. Because like you said, that ZSS just was not working, and this Corrin will give him the range to punish AeroLink's landings a bit better.
And that Dragon Fame B reversal, he caught him again over those little things. He noticed that AeroLink's Bayonetta, he likes to run up and shield a lot. We see him stopping and shielding, and he immediately called that out and then held it just long enough to make him think that he dropped the Dragon Fame.
You know, I was going to joke that it would be funny that AeroLink, his 2 losses were to 2 dragons, and then I remembered that Charizard actually doesn't count as a dragon.
No, he doesn't.
He's just sad, man. No. How does Mega, the Alolan Executor count as a dragon, but not Charizard?
And what gets me is that if you were asked to describe a dragon, what would you say?
Charizard, free.
Exactly, though. I mean, you say a fire-breathing lizard? Or
pretty much.
Sometimes with wings, maybe? I think he kind of fits all the bases of one.
I think he's more dragon than Dragonite. Like, Dragonite is so dopey, you know?
Exactly. He looks like the living embodiment of a dragon. If there was a Pokemon, you'd think he'd be known as the Dragon Pokemon.
He's not.
So, looking at this, both Corrin and Bayonetta having a good bit of rage. Corrin with quite a bit of rage.
Yeah, that's more than max.
Yeah,
he's topped off.
Yep. Oh, the down throw kill? Wow.
Interesting.
Well, down throw kills eventually, apparently.
You think that might also be a potential DI mix-up as well, because we were seeing a lot of forward throws.
Did you know that Bayonetta can bat within the side special of Corrin's?
Pretty much anything, man.
Yeah,
that wasn't as crazy.
She got pinned. Looks like AeroLink is just taken away with this. He's holding on to his rage too, which could be really scary. That'll give him that extra oomph it takes to get him through that roof if he's going for it.
Very much so. And I was going to say that it looked like Light was just playing so tilted beforehand because he wasn't doing really any punishes on any of AeroLink's landings when he had the opportunities to do so. And especially with this potentially being the last game that you have in this tournament, you have to make sure that everything is so clean. This is when you take a breather and figure out what you need to do in these seconds to turn the game back in your favor.
Looks like he has taken that break, though. He's starting to play a little more patient, and he's poking him again over those little habits that he's catching. But I don't know. Looks like a counter.
Oh,
back air.
man.
That looks like it'll take.
Yeah, he didn't even need the second one. The single was all he required. And AeroLink, the witch times connecting so consistently, will be closing out the story of Light in this tournament. And that sets up for a very old-school Grand Finals, actually. Denti versus AeroLink. Man, if this was the Brawl days, this was it.
Exactly.
That's what you look forward
this is
to.
exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking, we've seen this before.
Yeah. Though, to be fair, in Brawl, that took forever. I mean, that took way, way, way longer. I think that they had a Grand Final series that was, I think, a